Welcome everybody, it's Taormino here, and today's a great day because it's Monday, and I've got another Monday memory for you. Now, I'm going to leave the consoles behind, I'm going to leave the handhelds behind today, but today, I'm going to talk about probably one of my first PC games I've ever owned, and it was actually the third installment in this series. It was Curse of Monkey Island. Now, the Curse of Monkey Island was actually given to me by my uncle, and I always considered him the cooler uncle. He was a lot younger than my other uncle, and he was an actor, still currently is an actor down in LA. He always knew what the coolest games to give me. Now, this isn't the first game that he's given me that's probably going to fall on my Memory Monday list. It's not going to be the last because I've got a couple other that he's given me that were really, really cool. But this time, he got me into one of the greatest franchises that I've loved. And I've said that a few times here. A lot of these games that we're talking about here are very special and near and dear to my heart. A lot of them I'm never going to forget. They all have their special moments, and that's why I'm covering them first before anything else. Yeah, of course, I've got memories playing Catherine or whatever, or any other type of Star Wars game. But I mean, these games that I'm talking to you within the first couple episodes of Memory Monday are closest to my heart. And Monkey Island is one of them. Now, Monkey Island, if you don't know what that is, it was actually the very first Let's Play I ever did when I first started this channel. Welcome everybody, it's Taormino here, and today's a great day. Not only am I going to be starting my series of Let's Play videos, but I'm going to be starting off and playing one of the classics. So get ready, and let's play The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition. If you go back to it, you're going to hear the audio being really shitty. Oops. Really bad. You're gonna see that I'm a little too quiet. I don't really have a personality at the time. I was still developing who I was in front of a camera with a microphone in my face. This takes a while to get used to. I got lights all around me now. I usually have a green screen behind me, but I like to display all my old video games and consoles back here. You know, it kind of makes sense for Memory Monday. Well, Monkey Island is a puzzle adventure game, so you control a character named Guybrush Threepwood. Let me repeat that because I'm not kidding. Guybrush Threepwood. So you're controlling a pirate. He wants to be a pirate. Guybrush Threepwood, through silly tasks. They're almost sometimes cartoon-like, but he's fighting the evil pirate LeChuck. At this point, he's a ghost voodoo pirate. But there's progression to the stories. Like I said, I'm playing the third installment at this point of the series, and I wasn't aware of the first or the second game at the time. So my uncle goes ahead and gets this for me. I remember popping it into my computer that we used to have. We never had we had an office, but for some reason we had this little desk area in the kitchen in my house back in California, where it was like this little tiny cubby, and like there's a little tiny desk area, and it was like right next to our kitchen table. Like, it was weird that it was there, but it was meant for like maybe old telephones or something, like an old big phone to sit there or something like that. I think that's what it was. But I had my computer set up there, and I remember struggling. I broke that PC a ton of times, but I was able to fix it and break it and fix it and break it, deleting software I shouldn't because I didn't know what the software did. But using that computer, I played Monkey Island, and the game to me was very, very colorful and vibrant, and it had little cut scenes, like it was like cartoons. And it was a lot of fun, and one thing that I loved about Monkey Island was the character Guybrush Threepwood was very sarcastic. He was a smartass, and that was one thing I loved about him. And the thing that was cool was the character was in the style of game, like the adventure games. You can look at an object, you can pick up an object, you can use an object. So when you're talking to someone, you can select different text to say to continue the conversation. Someone could say something and you'll want to say a snark comment back. you know, then you can say that snark comment and then look at their reaction. And it was almost like you're choosing how to have this conversation, even though ultimately you needed to sometimes say all the pieces of the conversation in order to advance the story. So it wasn't like a Telltale series now where you kind of create your own story, but it gave the illusion of choice, and it gave somewhat of how did I want Guybrush to sound in this conversation. Do I want him to be an arrogant, smug jerk? Because sometimes you only have one option to choose, like one choice to choose 3 different options, and you're not going to get that selection again because it's within conversation. And then normally it'll go like, all right, well, let's ask questions about A, B, C, and D. Like, where's Skull Island? Where's this? Where's that? Where's that? And you can kind of just go down the line. But there are points in time where you're talking to somebody and they're like, all right, well, this lemonade is a nickel, and you choose to give them a wooden nickel, and then they end up pouring the lemonade through a bottomless glass because they tell you they have a bottomless glass policy, and they pour you the lemonade, but there's no bottom to the mug, so you don't get the lemonade because he just poured it through a hole in his little shop, and it's the bottomless mug policy. So then you have to trick them and then get another mug and then switch out that mug so it's got a bottom so you can actually drink the lemonade. It was little things like that I just thought was so much fun. And then there's a portion of the game where they had battleships where you can battle, and then you would insult sword fight people. I remember playing it, and this was before really like the internet existed, and so I couldn't really go on like, let me go to GameFAQs or whatever to like find out like walkthroughs. Like they're everywhere now for every freaking video game, which is really, really cool. But I would write them down, like, you fight like a cow. Like it would be like you would say a line, and then you would have a witty repartee to say something back to them, and then if you got the right combination of insult after they said something, then you would control the beginning of the insult, and they would have to hopefully have the right insult back to it, and you would sword fight back and forth, and whoever got to the other end, one way or another, you'd either win or you lose. And I would write all these things down all the time, and I would memorize which insults were for which. It was just so much fun playing this game. It really turned me into like a kleptomaniac, because you don't realize it when you're playing these games that the only way to succeed is like to take everything, like basically pick up everything that's not nailed down. And that's what you've got to do in this game, because like, oh well, maybe this pile of horse manure is going to be a part of a puzzle, and I can mix it with this glass jar, and if I put it inside the glass jar and then leave it in the sun for a while, then you go to say, like, you just got to take everything. You got to pick up everything so that it eventually will be used in a puzzle. And it's like, do you have the right item for this scenario to get out of this scenario to advance further in the game? So it turned me as a player into like, click on everything, look at everything, touch everything, pick up everything. If I can't pick it up because someone's like, hey, what are you doing? Get your hands off that. I'll be like, all right, so now I got to distract this guy so I can go steal his monocle. You know what I mean? These adventure games. And not to mention, I'm a big fan of Pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean, the ride, Pirates of the Caribbean, the movies. My high school mascot was a pirate. Like a lot of people my age, they were pirates in Halloween when they were growing up, when they were little kids. You know, I just love pirates. I love all things pirates. I actually have this book on my shelf, Piratology. I'm really cool. I'm really happy that I have props next to me. It's kind of cool to have these things with props. I have legit pirate hats that I got on like Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco. I have a black one because I like being the bad guy. But I love all things pirates, and Monkey Island was really, really cool that they kept the theme of pirates in there, and that Guybrush was trying to help save his love, who he put in a bad predicament. He put a cursed ring on her finger and turned her to gold, and then pirates stole her because she was solid gold, and he had to go track her down and find her, and find a replacement ring to turn her back. So it was just so much fun. Just the sarcasticness, the music of the game was just something that to this day I will still listen in my car driving somewhere. My best friend TacoRemix, we're part of the Kano of K Gamers along with his wife Goose Bizzle. Every now and then within games he'll play one of the songs from Monkey Island, and it's really, really funny that he knows how special the game is to me, and it's just one of those games that I'll never forget. And tell me in the comment section below, have you ever heard of Monkey Island? I know that they released episode. I play too much Telltale games, guys. I apologize. They had the first game and the second game that they re-released in revamped. I know they put it out on the Xbox Store a long time ago. I don't think it's there anymore. The Secret of Monkey Island, and I forget the first game, but they have the two out there. Have you guys ever played them? What's your opinions on them? I do have the Let's Play if you guys are curious, but keep in mind I was very new at the time, so please be gentle with me. But alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and leave it here. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in for the next Memory Monday.